The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, also known as Reland Dare, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Ventru.
I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening. I am the Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Brad, or Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hikata.
And I'm Gavin. I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
And, of course, welcome back to the full table of everybody here this week. Last week was an interesting week. They tracked down that Jerry Lightwood fellow. And, he turned out to be an idiot. Though he did not go hunting vampires, which was a pretty good thing. But by the end of the episode, Roscoe, you had a visitor.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, a visitor that was, she broke into your shop right in front of you. She was polite enough to lock the door behind her.
I did appreciate that. It was a nice touch.
Yeah.
On our way out. But I still need to, I feel the need to go tell Jackie about this because she might have some input on that.
Well, it's not a night the coterie's supposed to gather, so I guess you got to go somewhere you haven't been yet. You got to go over to the Cabaret.
You know, do I know where it is?
Oh, I'm sure you know where it is. Come on.
Okay.
Just because you haven't been there don't mean you don't know.
Then I think I should go to the Cabaret.
Okay. And I assume I'd say you get dressed up, but you're already dressed up, it looks like. And this is occurring probably the next night after Allison had stopped by your place. Kind of important for you to try to knock this out. So you head over to the Cabaret now. Parking's a bit of a bitch. Unless you warn Jackie you're coming ahead of time. Do you let Jackie know you're on the way to see her?
Well, just as courtesy to Jackie, I asking her if she's busy that night, so I do send her a text. If you're not busy, do you mind if I drop by?
And Jackie, of course, acquiesces, and what she would do is actually arrange for there to be parking for him.
Okay. You're going to let him park in your private
Mm-hmm.
little garage area.
My little lot. Mm-hmm.
And as you park in the little private area, when you go into the club, or the cabaret, sorry, I always call it a club, but it's not a club, it's a cabaret. And as you go inside, at the moment, there's no stage performance going on, but you do come into a place that's dimly lit, and there are people walking around with books and poker chips on tables, and it seems like people are reading excerpts from these books they're carrying with them. And as you go into the place, you're actually handed a menu, but the menu is not like food or drinks. It's actually a list of people. Some of them are noted with what type of stories they like to tell, and a price in chips on how much per story.
Okay, looking down the menu. Do I see anything particularly interesting and expensive?
I mean, you have to ask Jackie on that. I don't have her menus
There is
memorized.
quite the variety of tales to be told there, and the most expensive item on the menu is only based on availability, and that is actually Jackie's stories.
Now, when you come in, Etienne notices you. He's standing at the end of the hallway, and he just nods to you as he sees you come in.
Evening, Etienne.
She's in her office, sir.
May I go back?
Go ahead. She's expecting you.
All right, thank you.
And as you go down this hallway once again, seems Jackie's still on a bit of alert, because at the end of the hallway, you see one of those half doors with the bottom closed, and Peter standing in the next area. You don't see a weapon on him, but you know you could easily hide anything under the second half of the door. And he also nods to you, same way Etienne did. And you come to a door that just says office.
And I'll knock on the door.
Come in.
And I go in. Oh, good evening, Jackie.
Oh, good
How are
evening,
you?
Roscoe. Please, come in. Make yourself comfortable.
Oh, thank you. And I come in and I take a seat.
She closes up a file that she was reading and sets it to the side. So what can I do for you?
Well, Jackie, I just had the most interesting encounter at my bookshop. You remember the when we were all heading out the other night, and there was this, we were being tailed, and there was a short-haired,
Samantha.
red-haired. There was I got a visit from her friend Allison, who let herself into my shop after I'd locked it, who came in to verbally berate me. I didn't get quite the same treatment as Samantha gave me, but it was a good verbal dress down. And she boasted that, well, she's the daughter of the chief of police.
Oh, is she?
So she says.
Jackie pulls out her laptop and she does a search for Chicago chief of police.
Okay. You pull up the website. Right there, it's public record.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you find the chief of police.
What's his name?
I don't know. Hang on. Let's go with Aaron.
Allison's dad.
Yeah. No. Well, first name's Aaron Thompson. I like that name.
Aaron Thompson.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Let me make it. I'm making a note now.
Make a note of that.
The name.
Is the name. Okay, so the Chicago chief of police is Aaron Thompson. The interesting thing that Allison may not have realized is her father's position in this city is mayoral appointed.
Sounds vulnerable.
Exceptionally vulnerable. Now, that also means that likely someone has their hands on that chief.
How badly could it go for Daddy if it turns out his little girl's an arsonist? Because she did make that threat.
It could be very damaging to his career.
And she also seemed to be really familiar with it last time my store burned.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So her and Samantha have been tailing you for some time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting from this.
Interesting. Interesting.
Now, I couldn't get Samantha's number out of Allison, but I can find both of them easily enough now that Allison was in my shop.
She's going to do a search for Allison Thompson, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, you find several.
And as I'm going to pull up images, and I'm going to turn them around and say, any of them her?
You don't see her picture in there. She must not have much of a social media presence.
Yeah, none of those are the one that was in the shop.
She turns it back around. Closes it. Okay. Interesting.
Now, she was, we were starting to get into it a bit, and I was kind of on the edge of, maybe a little neck snapping. But then when she brought up the chief of police, I decided, this might bring Jackie into it, might have some consequences for her, so I'm not going to.
It won't have anything to do with me. My connection to the police is very minimal. It's only Wicker Park.
I didn't want to, upset any plans you might have.
Yeah, no, I'm not going any bigger than that because then I'd be stepping on too many toes. It's a shame you don't have a ghoul. If you had had a ghoul there, the ghoul could press charges against her. Take her ass to court. Drag it through the public opinion. Chief's little girl being a hellion.
Maybe that's a project for another day. Find a ghoul.
Perhaps. You have a good security system at your store?
I do.
Okay.
I'm sure I can pull that particular encounter.
Yeah, I will see what I can find out about who has involvement with the local politicians and who has involvement with the higher levels of police.
Yeah, be a shame if something happened. Now she made claims though that, you can't do anything to me because, too many people know I'm here tonight. So.
Really?
Yeah, just bluster, I'm sure, but you never know.
Someone thinks they're important.
They do.
Yes. Keep an eye out. Monitor your security footage. See if you see her or Samantha around your shop, especially when you're not there.
Maybe I'll open the camera angles up a bit so that it's not just the inside of the store and the immediate surroundings. Just see if they're hanging out in the
like opposite corners or something.
Right.
Yeah. And Roscoe, I'm going to be real with you. It might behoove you to consider getting a ghoul.
Might not be a bad idea.
To do some daytime work for you.
Right.
Yeah. Because I can assist where I can, but I have to be careful because I'm pretty sure it'll be some of my clan members involved in that upper echelons of the city.
True.
So, but I will help where I can. But yes, if that young lady wants to basically throw her daddy's name around like that's her shield, shields can be weapons as well.
That's right.
So, yes, thank you for bringing this to me. I will look into what I can for you to assist. But definitely keep an eye on things. If you can get an assistant, get an assistant. Yeah. And let us know, not just me, but the whole coterie know if they become problematic because, well, we can make people disappear. Yes, but yes. Interesting, though, that they've been tailing you for some time.
Right. Well, and they were also tailing all of us the other night.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. She was following my car.
Mm-hmm.
How did she even know you were in it?
That I don't know. We weren't outside very long unless she was watching where I had come in and saw me leave with the rest of the party.
If possible, please find me her name. Samantha's last name.
Okay.
I really need that. Or phone number, shit.
I tried to get it,
Yeah.
but Allison wasn't giving that out.
Either one. But, I know her friend isn't going to give you shit, but if she comes back around again and you smooth things over, try to get the phone number and her last name.
I could probably get an address because, well, time frame is right. I can still follow her back to wherever she went home for the night.
I didn't even think of that, Roscoe. Oh, my. That's funny. Don't go breaking into homes.
No, that's not my style.
Last thing you need is legal worries. But, perhaps, that might be a good idea. That might be a good idea.
I could always break in and take a picture of the phone number on the phone in the house.
Most people don't even use landlines anymore. They use mobile.
That's true.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm old.
I know. I am too. It is hard sometimes.
All right then. Well, I really appreciate your help.
Yeah, no. Based on what I find out, if I can figure out more I can do, I'll let you know.
All right, thank you.
But first I need to find out whose hands are involved in that level of the city. So.
Understood.
Yes.
Right. Now, this menu that I got when I came in, some of these stories look very expensive, but really interesting.
They're very good. You should try some.
I would like to, but some of them say by appointment only. So.
Roscoe, if you wish to pay for hearing my stories, on a night I am reading, I would be happy to tell them to you. The way I do that, mine are the most expensive because what I do is I actually do not take the revenue myself. I distribute it among my staff. It is a bonus to them when I do that sort of performance.
That sounds like a good cause to me. Let me know when you're performing next. I'd like to come by.
I will do that. Thank you, Roscoe. My staff will appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Roscoe steps out and goes into the general cabaret. Now, we're actually going to flash over right now to Nicholas. Nicholas, you had passed word that you needed to speak with your sire. Now, as you're at your haven, you actually hear a voice speak.
Do I recognize it?
No, but you're used to not recognizing. Nicholas, you wish to speak. The master has sent me.
I did. It seems this city has a problem with the family going on vacation. And the timeline is a bit suspect. And it seems that I wonder if maybe he knows or is aware of the situation here in Chicago.
And you see a spirit here in front of you. Hunched over. It looks like it died in a fire of some kind, and it's holding an etched stick in its hand. And then you see it start rubbing the stick, and it's talking. But you don't hear what it's saying. And it looks up. The master says, I don't know where any of them went. They're all gone. No one will tell him why. No one will even say who it was.
I'm trying to remember, was Nicholas told about the one remaining with Zal?
Nope.
Okay.
The master asks, do you know anything yet? Have you found anything?
I only know that another clan seems to have taken up residence in the family's holdings, but I'm uncertain as to if they are cause or a symptom.
The master says, the deal was the family would clean up the area and revitalize. It was funded by Alan Sovereign. Did his clan take it?
No.
Very odd. Follow the money. Money was spent there. A man of Mr. Sovereign's reputation would want his money back. He'd want to know where it went.
Indeed, it seems odd that one of our clan shows up and no one's asking for that money back now.
Very good thought. The master says, find what clan took it. Who had to gain? I've heard rumors there may be another there. Now the spirit is no longer relaying your messages back, talking to itself. Seems you've got enough of your sire's attention. He's speaking through the spirit. There is a child in the city. One of the family. Do not know who she is.
I suppose it is possible for me to find out. I can't imagine in a city this hell-bent on being in everyone's business. Someone must know who she is.
Perhaps she paid the money.
Interesting. I'll get to work on it right away.
Good. I don't like not being told things. I don't like when parts of the family keep things from us. That was the point in unifying.
The family united.
Yeah. And then you see the spirit kind of, his head dips a bit and it looks up. The link is broken. The master has gone.
Thank you for your time.
I serve. And then it breaks the stick as it starts to fade from view, leaving you alone in your haven. I think Nicholas has quite a bit to think on this one.
Yeah, Nicholas, I think at this point would be trying to figure out a less obvious way of trying to figure out what's going on without trying to, tip his hand to everybody.
Or to go talk to Sovereign himself.
Yeah.
So as you're giving that some thought, we're actually going to flash now to Lamar. Lamar's been going through this little book he has of blackmail evidence, to be fair. But I think Lamar has a phone call he needs to make because he's got another plan he's got to work too as well.
Yes, so I will pick up my phone and I will dial Kathy's number.
And it's funny, she had a new number, but she did text you the new number after, that Elysia night. And when you call it up, she answers, "It's Kathy Glenn's, what's up?"
Hey, Kathy, it's Lamar.
Oh, I knew you'd call it. Well, I hoped you'd call at some point. How you doing, Lamar?
I'm good. How are you?
Getting tired of babysitting, but
Yeah, as it stands, I kind of would like to help you with that. Well, by maybe taking you out in the near future.
mm-hmm. Oh, well, I mean, I did say that you needed to call me. Yeah, I think we can do that. I'll have Evan watch him, but okay, we can't go to the same place we went last time.
No.
I don't think that's a good place to go. How about, let's go something a little simpler. Let's just go for a walk in the park or something. Quiet, just the two of us.
That could work because there's something on my mind that I need to talk about, and I don't think I can really discuss it with anyone else. So,
Well, I'd love to rifle through that mind of yours and find what's in there. I'm sure there's delightful things.
oh, I don't know. A lot of the people I've met who've taken a gander, they disagree, but
They don't have a sense of adventure. They don't. Let's just say that they're too risk averse to enjoy the fun.
oh, and that's not you at all, is it?
Oh, no. As you saw the other night, well, been a while, but risk is not something I'm afraid of.
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't bite unless asked. So,
I do bite. Just
now
letting you know.
that's what I was hoping to hear.
Why don't we make it for, I gotta think of our schedule here. Let's go next week. That gives me enough time to make sure Evan is out of whatever funk he's in this week. And he'll watch over Nero for a bit.
Sounds like a good idea. You let me know when you've got your handler scheduled, and you can make that happen.
I will definitely let you know. I will be dedicating quite a bit of time to make sure everything is arranged.
I like that forward think of yours. So let's make that happen then.
Yeah. A date in the park. I like that.
Well then, is there anything else going on that I should be watching out for? Everything okay?
And everything's
your side?
okay. Nero said a word yesterday. It was weird.
Has he not been doing that much? What kind of word?
He said it's quiet. Well, it's 2 words technically, but he said it's quiet. I mean, he spoke. He hadn't spoke for weeks now. So maybe he's recovering.
That's progress.
I mean, it's something. I still don't
does
know
that
what
give
happened.
the band any trouble?
I mean, we got nobody to write lyrics, but I mean, you know how it is these days. Somebody to write songs, a dime a dozen. We got so many hopefuls coming into the studio. Oh, we want to record. We want to,
If you're a poet and you know it, seems like it'll make so you can get anything going.
Yeah. I mean, It's not my problem anyway. I'm I let D handle that.
I get that. Yeah, he seems like that's his bag more than anyone else. So
I mean, we got the album done. We're about ready to release it, and now he's working on like 4 other artists. He's trying to like make the studio get big, blow it up.
well, yeah, definitely you want. I mean, the more work that other people are doing, the more you guys can relax, maybe take some time off, pursue some solo projects if that's what you want to do.
I mean, like we ever get time off. You know how that works.
A guy can dream, can't he?
Yeah, well, so can a girl. And speaking of that, I'm going to let you go, but I'll be thinking of our date.
I'll be looking forward to it. Take care of yourself.
You too, and be safe. Yeah, I heard the streets are rough this time of year.
They are. That's why I'm staying inside.
And then the line goes dead. Lamar
And
got a plan
Lamar
going,
goes
huh?
back to- Yeah, and he'll go right back to looking over his book of secrets.
Book o' Secrets. Now we have, well, it's a big night for Isabella tonight.
It is about time.
Yep. You've got a brewery open. Why don't you describe the brewery?
Yeah. So it's not as modern as one might expect from a lot of breweries that are opening up. It has more of that lighter wood color throughout it. Almost kind of a Western vibe, but not quite there. I would go more rustic. There is a mural that replicates Italy and the vineyards of Italy, almost like it was a window, and a window on the outline. Plenty of seating. There's also some private tables in more hidden booths, I guess I would say. Yeah.
Now, this is occurring the night after Roscoe had come to Jackie, because I don't think Jackie was going to be showing up at your opening night like at, 1 a.m. That just, it's a bit late. But I knew Jackie wanted to pop into your opening and Jenny wanted to pop in as well. Now, as it opens, I mean, it's a new brewery. Of course, as soon as you get to the little pub portion, people are packed in there. And when did Jenny and Jackie arrive? I assume separately, of course, but about what time do both of them aim? Now, remember, this time of year, it gets dark pretty early.
Yeah, I think Jackie probably had a meeting at her escort agency first that evening, and then she would probably get there about roughly 8-ish.
Okay. And Jenny?
Yeah, Genevieve's probably shooting for later because she doesn't want to scare the fucking the people there by walking in and parting the Red Sea at a new opening. So
okay. So the first one to arrive is Amelia. And
Amelia, how are you?
oh, Isabella, and she comes over and she gives you a kiss on each cheek. I wouldn't miss the opening night. It's a nice place you have here.
So glad you're here. Anything I can do for you?
Well, I'm just gonna circulate a bit at first and see what everyone's interested in. Got to get a feel for the place before I write my piece. I want to catch the vibe and see how it's going. I do like the place. I like the got an old world feel.
I'm glad you caught on to that.
It's
I never got the name from.
yeah, it's definitely. I like it, but we'll see how. I want to see how the people are. And then she leans in. Don't worry, you'll get a good review. I'm sure.
I hope you do actually enjoy it beyond just writing me a good review.
So far, I haven't been disappointed with anything you or your friends have come up with, so I'm pretty sure this will be fine too. Now,
We can continue the trend.
I'll let you know if I need anything. I'm just going to circulate around a bit. I'm not really thirsty at the moment. Plus, I wouldn't darken your opening night with getting myself a drink.
That's fair. I appreciate that.
And she smiles and starts circulating the crowd. And it's definitely packed. About 8 o'clock, Jackie, you arrive.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get there, there's a line waiting to get in, but I don't think that's a problem for Jackie.
No.
I would like to think Emilio sees her and ushers her in.
Oh, yeah,
allows her to come
he's been
inside.
watching the door, keeping an eye on people coming in and out. He's trying to keep an eye for any criminal element slipping in, though this part of town doesn't have a whole lot of it. But when he sees Jackie,
Emilio. And she actually kisses him on both cheeks.
and he smiles. He goes, "We don't do that as much in the new world here." It's,
You know what? I still do it. Fuck it.
I mean, I get it, but I've got a reputation to uphold and all.
What? It damages your reputation to have a beautiful woman kissing you on the cheek.
Well, yeah, but when you kiss me on both cheeks, it makes me look like I'm fancy or something, and then, I take a while to build this disreputable kind of image.
Well, I wish you luck in that endeavor.
Yeah, I've already had to turn away 3 people that I knew were up to some no good.
Excellent. Excellent.
Isabella's inside.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
You'll
Thank
find
you.
her circulating the crowd doing, the Isabella thing,
Excellent.
being the hostess tonight.
Stay warm. And she goes inside.
And as you go inside, of course, it is packed, wall-to-wall, bodies jammed every which way. But it's easy to find Isabella by the crowd of people around her. Everywhere she goes, she's being circled by, either people wanting to ask questions about the place, people trying to convince her to start selling their product in her brewery, those kind of things.
If she catches Isabella's eye, she'll just nod to her and smile. And then she'll go up to the actual bar area and request a drink.
Okay. And you get your drink. Now, Isabella, do you break free of your oppressive people?
Of course, for an old friend. I wouldn't imagine anything else.
And I'll turn it over to
Jackie, how are
two.
you? How are you? I'm so glad to see you.
Of course, I wouldn't miss this for anything. I am well. So, excellent opening.
I know. I was hoping with the location we'd have a pretty good turnout, and I'm glad to see it was sufficient.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You picked an excellent location. I didn't want to drag you away from, potential business connections, but,
They'll be here for a bit.
And she takes a sip of her drink and she's excellent as ever.
I'm so glad you enjoy it. I'm hoping that at some point maybe you'd even be willing to sell it or partner with me at the Cabaret to have some offered there.
I may. I will say, though, that your wines actually sell better there.
I'm sure we can arrange something, Jackie.
But we do...
Whatever you want.
Yes, but I believe some of your limited releases might be a nice little thing to add to the menus as they're available.
Okay. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Maybe I'll even tailor some specifically to the Cabaret.
Oh, that would be magnificent.
You know how we tend to do when we work together.
Yes.
Things tend to go very well, so
They do.
I'd love to continue that with our businesses here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, not tonight, but later on, I'm in the works of doing an event. Basically, it's going to be a fundraiser where I incorporate multiple burlesque and cabaret places within the city where they showcase their best talents to raise funds for charity in the city. And I'm going to need catering and refreshments. So, might be something we can work together on, and it can help promote your
definitely.
business.
We could even do a limited vintage for the charity event
That would be fun.
as a lasting reminder.
That could be excellent. We'll discuss it more later. You enjoy your opening tonight. Revel in it, darling. You deserve the
Of
success.
course. And anything you want, Jackie. The place is yours as much as it is mine.
Ah,
And Jackie, at the bar, you see Amelia wandering the place, and she waves to you, but she doesn't come over to speak because she's kind of
No, she's working.
She seems to be working hard. Every once in a while you see her stop and start talking to somebody with her notepad out.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting interviews and digging up quotes for the place. And the evening passes for a while until Jenny shows up. Now, Emilio, he recognizes you, Jenny, as well.
Hmm.
And when you come up to the door, he looks at you. Could have used your help about 2 hours ago.
Oh, well, sorry. I'm not always everywhere.
One of the local neighborhood pickpockets decided he was wanting to try to get in here. And, I think you could have had some fun or, maybe put him on your payroll, depending on which one you wanted. But
I don't really have a need for a pickpocket. I don't know. Why she leans in real close to him and she just kind of says it kind of in his ear, like, why does everybody think I'm so dangerous?
he leans to him. You just give off this vibe of either about to hurt somebody, you just hurt somebody, or you're going to take their wallet and then hurt them with the wallet.
Isabella kind of hears this conversation going on. Like, you also seem like the type of person who could rip a door off its hinges fairly easily. It's that bit of intimidation factor. Don't worry, we love it.
It is so hurtful to be discriminated against because of my sins. No.
And
I said
Amelia,
we love it.
Amelia laughs and goes, discriminated against? No.
I'm giving you a hard time. If I were to turn around right now and just narrow my eyes at your line out the door, they're all going to scatter. So
I think Isabella might not want to lose the business tonight, though.
Exactly.
I'll keep an eye out. And if any more troublemakers are here, I'll let you go and just stare at them a little while. See if we can make them piss their pants, because that'd be cool. And the person in the front of the line, actually, you can hear him visibly gulp and start looking around.
Genevieve actually is going to kind of slide over and she's going to put her arm around their neck. She's like, they're going in with me. Sorry. Also, Evan is with me. So, mind if I come in?
And Emilio waves you in, but Evan seems to be cutting eyes at Emilio. And as he walks by, you just catch the end of Evan just going, pickpocket, huh? Figured. And just walks in behind you.
Once they're inside, Genevieve takes her arm off this random person's neck and she's like, shoves him in the back, like, have fun.
The guy you wrapped your arm around, I mean, as soon as you put your arm around him, he visibly started sweating. You could feel his kind of tremor under your arm as you did that. And he scurries off with such a quickness.
Sorry. Evan's here to taste for me, so it's better to not drink and stuff. So
I get it. I've been there. But I'm so glad you could come, Jenny. I really appreciate it. One businesswoman to another.
Oh, of course. Honest, really, if I'm being real, and this is going to sound maybe too businessy, but Evan is going to try things for me because I want to see if feels like it would be a good fit for my current project, Phoenix, and or some project I'm hoping to break ground on in the new year. So
even if you don't find something to your liking, there's always the possibility for custom brews. I was actually talking about that with Jackie earlier. You tell me what you want. We can work to make it happen.
That would be something you'd have to work out with
Evan.
Other people. Sorry. My head chef at Phoenix, she would know better for that sort of thing. Evan, he knows more about this kind of stuff since he can still taste it. And yeah, I just figure, you put booze in a restaurant and people buy it. So, or am I wrong?
You're definitely right. It also tends to add to the environment, make it a bit more lively, and then people spend more money all around, even not on booze. So it's a win-win, I think.
True. True. I'm just quizzing you. Sorry. It's
Strangely, Evan hasn't returned yet to talk about the drink because it appears he's at the bar talking already to some woman. He's kind of leaned in close talking with her. Jackie, you're only about 3 people away and you realize he's already managed to snag somebody.
I see Evan's here for play, maybe.
Research is play and work. It's fine. I'll get him. Everyone thinks that he gets to do whatever he wants, and he does within reason. And then I just I come over and I punish him for it.
Does he enjoy the punishment? Let's be honest.
He probably does. Evan and I have known each other a long time, so if he didn't like it, he wouldn't stick around. Yeah, that's
very
it.
Fair. He obviously seems very loyal to you too, so you must get some enjoyment from it.
Bella, my dear, money and connections will buy a lot of things. People included, their loyalty or the sense of loyalty. Evan is probably loyal to me only so much in as far as his duty is concerned. So, but it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, he and I have got that special working relationship. So I don't know. Everywhere I go, everyone's always like, "Are you gonna hurt me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to hurt you." So I'm trying to work on my image a little bit. Smile more. Yeah. That scares people too, though. So
I mean, you could lean into it a little bit. There's this whole thing now. Everyone likes being a little scared. They don't really know quite what's gonna happen. That fear is what brings them in.
Interesting.
Maybe embrace it a bit. Don't go ham and start swinging fists or anything, but a little look.
I'll have to talk with my my man and see if there's a business there.
I mean, if there's not, it's more fun for you anyway. To be honest.
Look, at the end of the day, you know what's really fun is counting that cash. So yeah, no, it's actually counting it sucks. It's more fun spending it. So
that's fair.
Yeah, that's why I always say if there's a business opportunity, I might try and jump on it. So
that's fair. Can't fault you for that.
Do you guys do food here? Or is it just
we do have more bar entrees. They're not full on meals, typically what you'd expect at a bar, like nachos, fries, hamburgers, very simple stuff just so people don't get too much alcohol in their stomachs without anything else.
I gotcha. I don't know. Sorry. Your doorman, you're not the doorman. The guy who's acting like the doorman is kind of put me off a little bit. I was kind of trying to mess with him, and now my brain's all over the fucking place. So I apologize. I should find that guy that I brought in here. Make sure he's okay. But
just remember to enjoy yourself somewhat. Don't work too hard tonight.
I'll enjoy myself later when I go check up on Evan.
As you go and look for this guy that you'd walked in with, you find him near the bar. As you're approaching, you see him pound one scotch, get another scotch, pound that one. And he's already got a third in front of him when he sees you, and he gets this panicked look on his face.
Genevieve reaches into her purse and she pulls out $200 and puts it on the bar, and she's like, his tab's paid for. So, and
he kind of looks at you and looks at the money. Thanks. Maybe thanks. And he immediately downs that scotch too. While you're doing this, Jackie, you're watching this play out down at the end of the bar.
Oh yeah, she is just people watching the whole place.
And Amelia slips over to Jackie. Tet couldn't come out tonight.
Imagine that.
She's babysitting.
Of course she is.
I don't know if I should thank you or be mad that you followed what she wanted. He's an idiot. I mean, he's not like Brett, but
No, he at least has he has a cunning mind, but it is he's oblivious.
you know that fucker was a scammer?
Yes, he told me. I thought it was hilarious. I figured Tat would find that out for himself.
Oh, she found out all right.
Yes.
I think she's cuffed him at least 4 times.
Excellent. He will need it.
Yeah, he will. He is definitely a handful. I give it years before she can even take him anywhere in public.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That I warned her before we even found him that he would need a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she looks over. What is your dear friend Genevieve? Why is she? I think that guy's about to wet himself.
She has that effect on people.
I know. I've seen it. Still not as bad as your friend Lamar.
Oh, I know.
Man. I see he's avoided an opening night.
Of course.
He tends to scare customers, I think.
Yes, he does.
At least, Genevieve's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of offsets it a little. Doesn't matter how beautiful a man is, when they come in looking like they're planning to kill half the people leave.
Yes.
Well, I've got a I just wanted to swing by.
Of course. Enjoy your evening. I'm just sitting here just watching the crowd. It's fascinating to me.
Oh, it's a busy crowd. She should do well. It picked a good location.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it is. She did very well. I'm not surprised. She's been doing this a long time.
We'll have to see how well it goes. It's probably going to be a good piece on it, though. I have to still write it, and then
Yes.
the words will come to me at the time.
Speaking of your work, I actually have something in the works myself. It's still some months out, so I'll talk with you more about it later. But I'm planning a charity event.
Okay.
That I think would need coverage.
No, I mean, charity events are always good. Well, you've got my card.
Of course, I'll be in touch. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that that's coming.
Oh, that's fine. That as soon as you get any kind of concrete details, let me know. That way I can hype it up a little ahead of time.
Absolutely.
I can do a couple pieces, maybe an interview, or just a fluff piece just to kind of drag the interest in.
Absolutely.
That way we can build up to it.
Absolutely.
See if we can get something going. I mean, if it's a charity event, I know a number of the people here that would go to those kind of things.
Of course.
And she smiles. We'll definitely have to talk about it. And she wanders back into the crowd. And does anyone else have anything they needed to discuss, or is it just a lot of Isabella's wandering around checking in with people? The only kindred that anyone recognizes who shows up tonight is Amelia. Now, technically, Jenny could find if there's anyone else there or could try. But
she's Genevieve's would probably just scan the place just out of curiosity. So
okay.
Technically, so could Jackie.
You want to do a sense of the beast? Jackie got it? I mean, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Had to get something out of that liaison with Dread.
Resolve animalism.
Okay.
And then I'm going to roll. Because there may be somebody here. Who knows?
Oh, cool.
Jenny has 4. No, Jenny has 6.
I was gonna say, yeah, the crit actually helps me because if there is a kindred, I can tell more information about them.
But it pushes it into a messy crit.
Yeah. Maybe this guy gets unlucky in the bathroom.
Let's see. I gotta think of your messy crit real fast, because messy crits, I have a whole leeway of things I can have you do. Okay. I'm going to kick in your clan compulsion. For one scene, you gain a 3 dice penalty to all rolls involving manipulation and intelligence. You got to stick to 1-word sentences for the rest of this scene. There is somebody in the place. Jackie, you didn't catch it. He rolled rather well. He had 5 successes, but 6 is more than enough to beat him. Get his picture here. Jenny, you do notice there's a man here. Let me pull him back up. I get my description here. Seems to be, he's tall, maybe in his close to 30s, right around that range. Looks like he's prematurely gray. He's very stern-faced. And he's actually wearing a very nice suit, but with the gray at the side of his hair, he definitely seems to be a bit older. And he's just in a corner, doesn't have a drink, but he seems to be watching the place.
Okay. Genevieve is going to... She's going to go over and grab Evan, like actually grab him by the shoulder and just say, come. And then she's going to go to Isabella and just say, one of us in corner. And she kind of points and she's like, must go. And she's going to just beeline for the door.
And you see Genevieve seems to be, there's a look in her eye that's kind of wild at the moment.
Now that he's been pointed out to me, do I recognize him at all?
You've never seen him.
Isabella's gonna go up to him.
Okay.
And ask him if he wants anything to drink.
And he actually replies to your question with a British accent. No, I was actually just leaving. I just like to check out new places that open here.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. Maybe we'll see you again at some point.
And he stands. You're the owner.
I am.
And he extends his hand. Braden White. I'm sure we'll be in touch again.
Likely if you're in this area a lot. Isabella Caputo.
And as he looks at you, he kind of gets an odd smile on his face. And just for a second, the shadows darken in his eyes. Caputo. Italian.
You nailed it.
And he nods. And you see him. He goes to stroll out. And as he's walking out of the place, the crowd seems to part around him a bit. Almost as if he's making people uneasy.
Before he leaves, I'll tell Emilio to I'll point him out to Emilio and just let me know if he comes back in at any point when I'm gone.
Jackie, you got 5. You do notice Isabella talk to this individual as he and the crowd parting, and you do see that it's not an obvious effect. It's very subtle, but it's almost like the shadows darken around him as he's walking. It seems to be what's parting the crowd. It's an unconscious them pulling away from the intimidation of the dark clouds.
Has Jackie seen anything like that before?
Lamar, have you ever used Cloak of Shadow around Jackie?
Understand she was also in D.C.
Yeah, you've seen, well, that don't mean you saw Lasambas break up, but Lamar has used it around you. You've seen the same effect.
Interesting. And Jackie's actually going to work her way over to Amelia.
Okay.
Who was that?
Who?
Intense-looking gentleman.
One that was sitting in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know, never seen him.
Really?
Why, you knew something about him? mean, he was just kind of sitting there looking like, I thought of going over and calling him tall, dark, and broody, but he seemed a little intent on things, so I just figured let him alone.
Leans in and whispers, likely La Sombra.
Well, I wonder if anyone knows he's here.
I don't know. I'm going to have to ask around.
Yeah, you didn't catch a name, did you?
I didn't yet, but give me time, I will.
And let me know if you know what it is. I'll check into it.
Will do.
And she goes and begins circulating the crowd.
Jackie goes back to her spot.
And I think right here is a good spot to go to break, everybody, with Isabella's opening night. I'm sure Isabella at some point will talk to Jackie about who that individual she was talking to was. And everyone, see you in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. She really is your bad Bathory. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, brick me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within, to your burrow within. Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, we had, well, a number of scenes went on. We had Isabella's new brewery open up, and Jackie and Roscoe had a little bit of a talk. Lamar actually set up a date with Kathy. And Nicholas, well, he was playing with a ghost again. But in this case, it was his sire communicating. And the events of this, where we're picking up, is actually the next night, because Isabella's opening night, that pub was open a long time, because, well, it's a pub. It's Chicago. And to kick off this evening, Jackie's actually got a plan to pop in at Morgan's Steakhouse to check in on a dapper friend.
Yes, who's newly appointed Primogen. She has to congratulate him.
And as you head over to Morgan's Steakhouse, when you go in the front door, got the same maitre d' as always, but he looks you over. How in that? I was just told a second ago that when you come in, sends you to the back room, private dining room.
Thank you. He has his mysterious ways.
You must have told him you were coming.
I did.
And he actually has a waiter come over and lead you back there. And when you go into the room, you open the door to the private dining room, and inside is Cedric, of course, and also a man with a fedora sitting on the table beside him. And there's a chessboard in front of the two of them.
Good evening, gentlemen.
And Cedric looks over, hey, and Martin turns around. Now, that's a surprise. Well, no, it's not. He told me you were coming. And Cedric gets a grin. Well, can't let him sneak up on me. Come on.
I wouldn't dare.
Martin, take a walk. We'll finish our game in a minute. And Martin gets up and goes, I tell you not to cheat, but I was losing anyway. You had me in 4, right? And Cedric just grins. Yeah. And Martin picks up his fedora, and as he turns around, I mean, you knew who it was, but the face is totally, well, just average.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks from the room, leaving you with Cedric.
And I sit at the table.
Any reason you come to visit?
Well, first, to congratulate you on your promotion.
Well, you know, Khaled, he put in a word for me and stepped down, so, I mean, I'm not going to turn it down, that's for sure.
I'm sure you'll do an outstanding job.
Yeah. You know, take care of the clan interests, all that good stuff. I mean, since you like to come talk with me, I'm going to have to take you one night and show you my new office.
I would love to see it.
It's for official business kind of a thing. I've actually set up an actual office.
Excellent.
Yeah, I figured might as well. But not tonight, because I just kicked Martin's ass with this one. He was going to lose anyway. We're going to have to play again because, you know. But I suppose, you know, you're here to more than congratulate me.
I am. I have some questions that I need your insight on.
Okay.
Because you have more years in this city than I do. Come into a issue where my lack of knowledge of the city's history is impeding my progress.
Okay. history lesson. Winneck is normally better about those, but
Yes, but I am friendlier with you.
well, so what do you need to know?
Who was, or might still be, holding interest in the Chicago Reed Mental Health Center over at Lakeshore Hospital?
And he kind of leans back in the chair. That's
Say about 20 years ago.
answer's still the same. Pretty big order.
Okay, what do I owe you for it?
Gonna cost. What do you got? See, you're barking up a tree that's,
It's tied to that thing I had you look into for me.
yeah, but it's still, it's barking up a tree that can be dangerous. So what do you got?
You know I'm getting that warning everywhere I turn here lately. If it's a tall order, well, you know where I hold interest. What are you interested in learning?
I know you were cited in the medical district the night the building burned.
Yes. You want to know why?
I want to know what was going on in the building.
Some illegal medical shit. It's not my expertise.
Illegal medical shit.
Pharmaceutical development that was probably not above board.
And the string of bodies?
Wassailed Kindred. My coterie eliminated him.
Okay, that's useful. Who was the kindred?
A hermit.
So, Petrov.
Exactly. The sheriff is aware.
Well, I don't give a shit if he knows or not.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay. And we're going to cut that scene right there as he's about to give you some info, because we got to flash to Roscoe, because the events this night are happening at the same time. Roscoe, you're waiting on the coder at your shop. When the door opens and a man steps in, I'm going to share a picture. He's got a sneer on his face as he comes in the room. I mean, he's wearing, oddly enough, a suit from maybe 30 years ago. Well, a vest. Got almost a porn stash, I'll be honest. Though there's a handsomeness to him that is somewhat unnatural. And as he comes into place, he doesn't say a word to you. He just eyeballs you up and down. I don't know why you followed her. I think you should leave it alone.
If she leaves it alone, I'll leave it alone.
You're not scared of one little girl, are you?
I'm not scared, no.
Leave it alone. It's your only warning, man. Only one I'm going to give you.
And what happens if I don't let it go?
Well, let's just say people who cross me come to misfortune.
And who are you? So that I know what reputation precedes you.
I'm sure you've probably heard the name. You can call me Balthazar. I'm sure if you ask around, somebody will tell you. Leave her alone. Stay away from her.
Tell her to leave me alone, and that'll happen.
Well, I don't give a shit what she does. Do give a shit if you're seen following her. Take the advice.
I don't need to follow her any further.
See, that's a good friendly way to be about it. We'll keep it friendly, and everyone will be happy. And when he says it, he still doesn't get a smile, just has a sneer on his face the whole time. Stick to your books where you're in your element. Stay out of my playfield.
Well, I imagine our business is concluded then.
I imagine it is. And he just turns and walks from the shop. Now, who's the first to show up to Roscoe's shop? I want to know who was the first one.
I imagine it. Yeah, or Nicholas.
Nicholas and Lamar, you pull up at the same time and you see this individual walking out of Roscoe's shop. And he looks over both of you and he just shakes his head.
Lamar gives him the once over.
Nicholas just stares at him.
And you both, as you look him over, this is definitely, you can tell it's a kindred. It's a kindred who doesn't have much left of the human side of them. And he just walks down the street. Walks away from Roscoe's shop.
Why do I get the feeling that wasn't another satisfied customer?
And you can see Roscoe's right in the main room of the shop.
Lamar's gonna walk in.
Hey, Lamar.
Nicholas will follow.
Mr. Nicholas?
Who was that? Please don't tell me it was another person you invited in.
No, he let himself in. Interesting connection to my lady friend's friend, whatever. Well, called himself Balthazar. I have no idea who he is. Cuts an impressive figure, though.
Balthazar, you said?
Yeah.
You remember that night, Lamar, that Damien mentioned having to go meet with him. Called him an asshole.
I remember one night I spoke with Damien. He had to meet with a guy named Balthazar. Said he was a big asshole. It's the same guy. He definitely is.
Same guy then.
He was definitely wearing Ode to Fuck Stick, so.
I think Genevieve has called it resting bitch face.
Yeah.
The doorbell jingles and Genevieve steps in.
Yeah, Isabella,
gentlemen.
on the note of resting bitch face, Isabella walks in.
Well, hello.
This was not planned, I swear. I had to actually make a stop since we're going out to the wilderness. So, but what's going on?
Oh, we were just we're talking about the visitor I just had. Apparently, he didn't like the fact that I went looking after his friend, the one who broke into my shop. What's that?
What did he say exactly?
Stop playing in my field. And he wants me to leave. Just whatever it is that I had in mind for Allison, Samantha's friend, to just let it go.
After she violated, after she broke into your shop.
Yeah. Which pretty much means I'm not going to let it go, but this is a little bit of a complication.
Good man. Good man.
I always miss all the fun, I guess. I come in just too late every time to see the fucking fiasco that is this bookstore.
It's never dull.
This has to be the most exciting bookstore in the world.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, okay.
I'd agree.
He does have an interesting collection.
Fuck the collection. The people who come through here are just... It boggles the mind, Nicholas. It just boggles the mind.
Interesting.
It is. So we had a murder shack to go check out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that what we're calling it now?
No, I'm working on my personability. It's important to be outgoing and not just all hands on their face. So yeah.
Yeah, I could have used your hands on his face and other parts of him too. I'd have paid for a new. I'd gladly paid for a new shop window to see him take a flying leap.
I was gonna say some of those parts cost extra.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm glad you had that clarification because I was a little confused what services you were paying him for.
No. Sorry, you misunderstand, Bella. He pays Roscoe for the services.
There'll be no servicing of that particular.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, we can take him through a car wash and get his undercarriage cleaned. It'll be great.
Damn, I thought we were actually talking about killing someone.
It may come to that. So don't.
You never used a car wash
down.
before? Sorry. Another time, Lamar. I'm not all just windows and heights. Come on. You have to be creative sometimes. And to send a message requires creativity.
See, now, if Jenny had just gotten here a couple minutes earlier, we could have turned this place into a car wash.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So you all go and pile up in a vehicle, and I'm going to give you a scene for the ride over, but first I want to flash back to Jackie.
So
Cedric's
does
leaning
that
back.
satisfy you?
You ever watched horror movies?
One or two, not many.
You ever watched Halloween?
No.
There's a movie in there. A doctor's in the movie. Donald Loomis is the doctor's name. Now, the one who has interest there, he goes by Dr. Loomis. But I think you know him as another name. Jason Newberry.
Interesting.
That's his, is, he's not been seen in a while. That's his place. Been doing it, 20 years sounds right. I'd put him about time he was new to the city.
Did he start out with any enemies?
No, I mean, he had his sire. They got along, didn't get along, got along, didn't get along, kind of a thing. Sire was the primogen at the time. Now, you know what Clan's son was.
Yes.
He's a bit of a, rumor has it, he was a bit of a psychopath.
He's a sadistic little shit.
Yeah, well, he tended to like to experiment and play games with the patients and doctors there. Sometimes he would get a patient alone and do things to their head. Sometimes he would get a doctor, do things to their head. One of the, now this is all rumor. Mind you, I don't know for sure. But about 10 years ago, that same hospital, one of the doctors turned cannibal. Now, I don't know what it takes to turn a doctor cannibal, but I know damn well you don't make it through medical school without them figuring that shit out. And then suddenly one of their psych ward doctors are eating people. And it was someone that, well, let's just say there was a public argument at the hospital between him and Dr. Loomis.
Interesting.
So, as I said, it's a dangerous subject. I know nobody knows where son is, but let me tell you, if he's not dead, it's not safe to poke into his area. He kind of holds grudges.
I appreciate the warning.
Now, I know here lately I haven't heard of anything weird in the hospital, but, I like you, Jackie, so I just, want to warn you, if you dig too deep in there, let's say the former primogen before him, she left unexpectedly.
Really?
Nobody found her.
Funny how history repeats itself.
Except, you ever managed to catch a look at his aura?
No, I don't do that myself.
Neither do I, but I had somebody check him.
Oh, yeah?
Black spots.
Now
Now, I sat on that. I use that to my advantage. But
that would certainly explain why she went missing. Interesting.
so I don't know what your interest is in that place 20 years ago, but whatever it is,
One of the doctors there died in a house fire. The almost entire family did. The lone survivor is now the woman that Flyboy reports to.
I mean, I know it's 20 years, but generally I have a good memory for these things. Remember anything about that hitting the news?
She takes the case file out of her bag and
Okay.
passes it over to him.
He looks through it, and he's quiet for a bit as he reads through this case file. Okay, so you're thinking he had something to do with it.
Possibly, or I wasn't sure what to think. I didn't know if perhaps because of the timing, it could have been, because it was right around the war. So I didn't know if someone was going around setting fires down there to eliminate targets or ancillary people to targets or what.
Fires wasn't his thing, but
No, I know there's a few that it is, though.
yeah, but the timing.
Yeah. Maybe this doctor didn't fall for it. Maybe he was resistant.
I don't know, but the only witness,
Is her.
her. Now, this file said she claimed she didn't see anything.
I bet she did. Look who she's working for.
Yeah, we all know how a lot of us, you can be told not to see anything. I don't do that, but
I know.
it's not my way. I just don't let you see me in the first place. But think he had something to do with that?
I don't know. I'm going to find out, though.
I mean, the connection there, the father worked at the hospital.
Right.
So long ago, you couldn't even find anything in the records to see if they had an argument.
And I don't have any ties there at all that I can get that information, but I can speak directly to the witness.
Might be a good idea, if you're going that route. Bring up Dr. Loomis.
I will, just to see her reaction.
That would probably tell a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to tell me how this one works out, because I'm still waiting, I'm waiting for you to do what you're going to do before I start using the
I appreciate
Flyboy
that.
stuff.
I appreciate that. Truly.
I've been watching, have my pets keeping an eye on the place anyway.
Before things settled down with us and the lupines, was he bringing in lupines as well?
My rats can't really tell that. But since you're here, I did see Rosa skulking around the place the other night.
Really?
Yeah. You know, she's kind of, if you've been around her a while, you know what kind of wolf she is when she's fangs out, you might call it.
Yes. Well, and I've heard enough about her. I haven't had the misfortune of associating with her too often. But her reputation precedes.
She wasn't too bad. She just single-minded a purpose.
I find individuals like that very rigid and hard to work with.
Yeah. Oh, they're easy to work with. Just got to point them at the right targets.
Yes, but it's very limited.
Yeah. She was poking around, though, about in that same area. I just...
Interesting.
Seemed to be watching a place, too.
Interesting. Thank you for that.
You know, that's a project we're kind of keeping an eye on together, of course.
Of course. Of course. It is beneficial to many in this city. So, thank you. Is there anything I can do for you, Cedric?
Not tonight. But I may be in contact in a bit.
Of course.
There's some things I'm working that you might be able to help out a little with.
Of course.
I'll be in touch. Because, you know, sometimes it helps to have someone else look into something. Rather than my normal people.
Absolutely. Why do you think I come to you sometimes?
Well, because the choices are me, Bronwyn, or Wineka.
Exactly, and I've been to Bronwyn's place. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, she's a strange one. Don't let it get to you. She's just weird.
Oh, she doesn't bother me. I've dealt with many Malkavians in my time. But no, it's just you have a Malkavian with social anxiety running a nightclub. And just and Furman being the front woman for it.
Yeah, you know. I mean,
the place is dead.
Yeah, she's an odd bird, all right.
Indeed.
I still don't know what Jackson's thinking of putting her in charge, but you know. She can't do worse than Son did, that demented fuck. I'm kind of glad he's all poofed off to wherever he went, because fuck that guy.
Yeah, it seems like he was an irritant to many.
I mean, half the Primgen Council liked him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was liked by a number of kindred in the city. But he set my teeth on edge, and that aura just...
I always got the worst fucking vibe from him. He made my skin crawl.
Yeah. That aura told me what he was up to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get those spots unless you've eaten.
I know.
Somebody.
And recently, too.
Yeah, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
About, close to when, well, you might just say when his sire disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'm not a snitch on that one.
Of course.
Better to pocket that info for later. Plus, I didn't like her anyway. She always in my business. Poking around in the Undercity where I didn't want her.
Speaking of which, I heard something interesting the other night.
Okay, what you got?
Go ahead and flip to the other scene.
We will.
Okay.
We're going to cut over to you all are in the car riding out to the cabin. Y'all got a bit of a ride, so if y'all want to have a talk, otherwise we can just jump to the cabin. But y'all got a ride to get out to that cabin.
We could
Lamar's
sit
prepping and loading weapons.
We could just sit and watch Nicholas stare at us.
No, so this is probably the most excited anybody has seen Nicholas. Like he's got his, vintage doctor's bag sitting on his lap and he's got it open and you can just see him sort of like busily looking through everything, just kind of like checking stuff. Like he's not talking to anybody, but clearly he is ready.
So, Mr. Nicholas, once we get there, is there anything you're going to need us particular to help you with, or
just show me where the bodies are or were.
Okay. It's going to be a bit of a climb down, but
is there anything you could tell me Is there anything I need to know before I get there?
Well, it's not well lit, so bringing light, unless you can see in
That's-
total darkness.
That won't be a problem.
For the rest of us, I brought some flashlights.
Thank you, Lamar.
Much appreciated. Lamar, do you know of any other La Sombra in town right now? One who might have an interest in visiting my club or my brew pub.
I mean, I know our delegation is here. The leader of our delegation probably won't meet her for a little bit if things are still going the way they are. Why? You run into someone tonight?
Yeah, a braid and white. Being observant of Jackie, Jenny, and I, the coterie, at the opening for my brew pub. Just thought you might want to have a heads up.
Now,
Thank you.
Lamar, you've not heard that name, but he definitely wasn't part of the delegation.
Yeah, there's no Braden White as part of the delegation that came with us, so this is someone new. Someone who probably hasn't been introduced to those in powers. So you said he was at the club tonight?
Last night, yeah, the
Last
opening.
night? Comes through again. Give me a call. I'll head on down.
Yeah, I have Emilio keeping an eye out. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
And as you get out, it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere. And as you pull down this dirt road that leads up to it, are y'all cutting the lights off and going dark again as you roll up in there? I know, Jenny, you're looking to see if you see any animals as you're going up through there.
Yeah, Genevieve will activate Eyes of the Beast so she can see out into the dark. So
For you, Jenny, let's go wits animal kin. There's definitely signs of animal. They seem to be lurking just at the edge of vision or out hiding in the tree line around the building. But they don't seem to be approaching at all or running away like you would expect.
okay,
Nicholas is gonna activate Oblivion Sight
Okay.
as the lights go off.
And you can see clearly. Don't see any ghosts or anything, but I mean, you can see like it was daylight out, or at least dusk. And it's an eerie calm. Now, as the vehicle comes to a stop and a door opens, you don't even hear the insects. None of the normal night noises, just wind in the trees. That's all there is.
Isabella, would you like a gun?
I would love one, in fact. Thank you. Do you have a spare?
Lamar will reach into his bag and he will hand her a spare, hand her a 45.
And I assumed
Rock.
competence and assumed you didn't bring ghouls because of there was a bad effect with ghouls at one point for this place. And none of the animals seem to approach you, or they don't run, Jenny. You can just barely catch glimpses of them, but they're doing a pretty good job of hiding.
gotcha. Genevieve actually reaches into her bag and she pulls out a package of ground beef from the store. It's like a 70-30, so there's a lot of fat in it, and she rips into it and kind of makes some meatballs and kind of just tosses them out, and then she heads towards the building. So,
And as the group of you cross the threshold to this building, an uneasy feeling hits all of you. Now, Jenny, Lamar, and Roscoe, you felt this before. But Isabella and Nicholas, you have not. Can't quite describe it. It's almost like biting into tinfoil. There's just something strange as you enter the building. It does seem stronger, Lamar and Roscoe, than it was last time you were. And Jenny, well, Lamar and Roscoe were here more recently. It seems a little stronger than it was. It's definitely off-putting.
Lamar, you
Uh,
feel?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Nicholas.
I was just going to use where the shroud thins.
Oh. See. That one, rouse check. You don't get hungrier. It's wits plus oblivion. Difficulty is 3. And you'll get to find out the shroud's density. Okay, let's see. So it's a wits oblivion for good old Nicholas. Don't forget to add, you get 1 bonus die. Nope, you don't drag, just, you got the wits. Put the checkbox next to oblivion, or the plus on oblivion, and then uncheck wits, and then just drag the wits die.
That was where I messed up. Was I was trying to figure out what to click on to drag.
Yep. 3 is enough. Shroud is awful thin. Very thin through here.
Hey, Lamar, you feel that when we came in? That seems stronger to you than last time.
Yeah, I didn't feel like this before. Felt like it was going away. It feels like now it feels like it's back.
Can I tell, is it like specifically around like the building?
No, you felt it. The moment you cross the threshold is where it notably changes. And it seems to be thinner over a pullover pit that has stairs in it. It's even thinner as you get that direction.
Nicholas will walk towards where he feels that it's the thinnest and point down to it and look over at Roscoe.
And you see a pullover pit with a hole in the floor of it with a ladder leading down.
Is it this direction?
Yep, that's where we're going.
Yeah, Nicholas will start heading down.
Yep.
Well, okay. I'll start following him.
And I assume, Isabella, you're going down there too. I'm not going to make you worry about your clan bane yet. Not that dirty. But we'll see how bad it gets as you go down in there. And you go down this ladder. Yes, Jenny.
No, I was just going to say, if it's okay for you all, I'm going to stay up here. If you need help, just scream.
No, that'd probably be the first thing we'll do.
Go down this ladder. And you end up in a basement area. It looks definitely much older than the building above it. It actually looks like a farmhouse from 200 years ago, almost a root cellar that was expanded. Rough-hewn stone walls. Dirt floor. Nothing.
From our memory, does it seem changed from the last time we were here?
Nope. Doesn't seem to have changed at all.
Okay. Right, now we have to go down this hole right here.
Nicholas will follow.
You go into a carved out room. And now you're in the room. There's a secret door in this room that you've got a wall that you've got to push. Go further. No light. It's dry at least. Which is weird because, you know, you're close enough to Lake Michigan that it should be a lot damper. It's not. I assume, Roscoe, I assume you're going to push over the door. Yes. I know, Nicholas, you have Oblivion sight on. You don't see a single spirit, nothing.
I also want to check or activate Binding Fetter just to see if there's anything.
Okay. There is no fetters here. Nothing at all.
Interesting. Is this where you found the bodies?
No, we haven't gotten there just yet.
Okay.
Roscoe pushes open. It's a wall. But when he pushes it, it swings open. And there's almost a crypt hallway. And once again, there's a light glow to it. That you don't need lights anymore when you go in it. As you proceed down this hallway, it comes to a room that there's a toppled over cross that's been bolted to a stone slab. And where the cross has been pushed over, There's a hole in the floor.
Okay. Right, I had the wrong room. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We're working with it.
Okay.
The hole in the
this is-
floor is what's down there.
It's down here.
Nicholas will move towards it.
Who goes down first? Nicholas, of course, because I don't think you can
Yeah.
pull Nicholas from it. And Nicholas, as you go down this ladder, you come to a room, large square room, an altar room of some kind, because there's obviously an altar. And the first thing you see are spirits, maybe 30 in number, lined around the room with ghostly chains wrapped around them, tied to the altar. And now we're going to flash back to Jackie.
Yes. I heard of someone who likes to hide in the Undercity.
A lot of people do.
Oh, I know a lot of people do.
I've heard it's the in thing, you know?
It seems to be.
Yeah.
Especially when the One-Eyed King is doing such.
Oh, well now. That wasn't what I expected. I figured you'd bring up the club.
Oh, there's a club down there.
Oh, yeah. It moves around a bit. And
Oh.
sometimes I know where it is. Sometimes I find out afterwards. But
Oh.
yeah, there's a club down there.
I imagine it's a wild and crazy place down there.
Yeah, it's not exactly legal by our standards.
Oh, goodness.
Lots of blood, death, just the
Mm.
average bunch of kids having fun. Yeah. But you say the One-Eyed King, he's in the Undercity?
That's where he goes to hide, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably traverses most of the city in there.
if I was going to go hide, that's where I would go. I mean, it makes me wonder which of our people are helping him.
Exactly.
The only ones who know it is us. I mean, there's bits and pieces. Some people know one spot, but if he's going to traverse the city,
Somebody's helping him.
he's got to have one of
Mm-hmm.
those who really know the
Because he's
underground.
spotted in various places.
Well, I mean, good way to move if you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be followed.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous to move there. Some parts of it,
I don't think he cares about danger.
well, should.
Mm.
Some parts of it have some of our kind that have almost gone feral.
He's not far from it.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
they're territorial enough that even Winnetka wouldn't
I understand.
go to that sections.
I understand.
Saying he's using it, huh?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to have my pets take a look at that.
With caution, of course.
Well, I'm not gonna send them, but I'm gonna send some of the others. I can afford to lose a few dozen of them.
Mm. Basically, I'll give you the same warning you gave me. It's a dangerous tree you're barking up.
Yeah.
But I can't stop you, and I'm not inclined to try to. But just be careful.
Every night's danger.
Exactly.
Yeah, part of the fun. I use the rats to do it. That's safe enough.
If you happen to find out anything about it, let me know.
Oh, I will. You pass that to me, I pass something back on it.
I appreciate
I'd
it.
be curious to know which of our clan's helping him. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, of course, because
No.
we make deals. I mean, hell, I heard Winnetka made a deal with you all to let you all use the Undercity to and from your club.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's normal.
Yep.
I just want to know who's making that deal.
That's how I learned about the water that I told you.
Yeah.
I got it pumped out of that area, and damn if things didn't calm down.
I'm running an experiment right now. I pumped a whole bunch of the water somewhere else in the city. I want to see what happens.
You may not get the same results anymore.
Well,
I think
We'll
some
see.
things have changed.
yeah, we'll see.
Let me know.
If nothing else, I flooded some rats. It's okay.
You know, it happens.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything else to give you right now at this time, but that's a little mystery for you to dig your teeth into.
Well, if you want to hang out, you can just wait for Martin to come back in here and you can watch me just trounce him at chess.
I would love
You ever learn to play?
I've observed some people playing from time to time, but I never sat down to learn it myself.
You'll find consider it going to Elysia. You're playing a pattern. You don't want to overextend, but you're laying all the groundwork for a win at a later date. See?
Then perhaps, even though you, I'm sure, are exceptionally busy, when you have free time, you may give me some lessons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can teach you, but the strategy takes years. Martin's been playing a long time, and, well, he's not even that much of a challenge. I tell you,
Martin is very much a man of action.
I haven't found anybody able to hold a candle to me since Loden left. Well, Phil. He was good enough.
I'm sure he was.
He was the only one who come close. Everyone else I've gone up against, make mistakes.
Oh, of course.
Too aggressive, too risky.
Well, I look forward to learning from a master.
Well, I guess technically I am, aren't I?
You are.
And he actually sits there a minute, and then Martin comes wandering back in. And the first thing Martin, really? You got to send a rat? Really? Nim? He was chewing on my damn shoe again. And Cedric just grins. What? I don't know what you're talking about. And the two of them sit down to play chess as Jackie observes the game. Now we're going to flash back to Nicholas says he stepped into this room with ghost chained to an altar.
So the chains are going from the ghosts to the altar.
It's wrapped around their throat and goes right to the altar. And this is the oddest thing you've ever seen. The ghosts, they don't pay attention. They don't even look in your direction. Most of them have a dull look in their eye, like they're not there, like they're not aware of what's going on around them. Some of them, their eyes dart a little bit. Some of them seem to be in pain, but others are almost catatonic spirits, which is very odd. A couple of them, maybe half actually, barely even visible, as if they're almost gone.
As soon as Nicholas gets, like, he'll step into the room, and I'm just making sure that the altar is where Mediterranean Dad Bod was, right?
No, the altar, Mediterranean Dad Bod was on a slab above you. This altar was just, seems to have spots where blood was once all over it. Got runnels to catch the blood. But there's bones scattered amongst the room, but the bones have no relation to the body standing around.
Interesting. Was there anything on the altar? This is Nicholas asking out loud. Was there anything on the altar?
Irian doesn't recall. Storyteller? I don't think
No,
there was.
There was nothing.
Okay.
It's an altar.
How strong is that feeling now?
Oh, it is really the oddest thing when you're in this room now. As a kindred, you're well aware of your beast. It's muted. It's quiet. It seems to be pushed into the back of your head somewhere.
Tell me everything where it was when you found it. Has anything been changed?
From what I can tell, everything is exactly the same as it was when we were here last.
And we didn't want to move anything since we didn't know if there was anyone still here. Catch my meaning.
So there, and Nicholas is kind of like pointing like this. There are spirits lining the wall.
Yeah, I had a brief vision of that, which is how I knew about the chains, but I can't see anything now.
Okay. Well, I can see it clearly.
Like right now.
Yes. And like Nicholas will, like as he's explaining this, pointing to where each spirit is.
As you go around the room, something you've almost never seen in your time as a kindred. You see Izzy. She's become visible to you. She's pulling on one of the chains, trying to pull it free of the spirit it's hooked to and the altar. And as she pulls on it, you see it. Every time the chain moves, it moves the spirit it's hooked to. The spirit doesn't react. And every once in a while, she'll go over and shake the spirit, and it also doesn't react. And she's frantic trying to break this chain. It seems to be a physical object, the way she's interacting with it.
Do you know what this is?
She turns to look at you, and you hear her voice echo. It's killing them.
I don't think Nicholas has anything that he can interact with that.
And she actually shakes the chain. This shouldn't happen. That's Stygian steel.
Do you know what they use this for, Izzy?
She starts crying. To trap our kind to imprison us. But that's not what this is. It's killing them. And as she says that, you actually see one of the spirits in the room wink out, just gone. And the chain falls to the ground.
Nicholas is, I think at this point he would start to get sort of like panicky because he's kind of, I think, sort of feeding off of Izzy's energy a little bit. And he's like moving around the altar trying to see if there's some way to disturb it or
seems to
break the connection.
The oddest thing, that altar appears that they've carved the room around it. It's one solid piece of stone that actually is solid with the floor itself. So they not only carved this room out with hand tools, they carved the room and left an altar in the middle by carving the rest of the room. The altar itself is not a separate piece. It is part of the earth itself, part of the bedrock.
We should leave. And we should destroy this place.
Okay.
Whatever this altar is feeding off of the spirits.
Is there anything we can do to destroy the part of the altar that's chaining them? Before we destroy
that is not my area of expertise. And Nicholas kind of starts to look frantically over towards Lamar. Like, we can try the altar, but this room is designed with this altar in mind. So I don't know that just the altar would be enough. But
do we know what would happen if we destroy it? Would that even work? What if it makes things worse?
I don't know how it can be worse. Like it's this isn't right.
Let's say I have access to a sledgehammer. If I go Conseco on this thing for a few minutes, you think that would work?
I think it's worth a shot.
Bet. And Lamar will turn and head back up the ladder. He's going to head back to the car to get his sledgehammer.
Jenny, you're up there when you see Lamar come out of the hole with a determined look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts immediately, he doesn't say anything. He's just going straight to the car.
Yeah. Genevieve's, she takes notice, but she's also just been kind of tossing little meatballs out and she's kind of, I don't know. Yeah.
Tossing them shorter and shorter distances to see if you can draw whatever is. I get it. I get what you're doing.
The next trick will be just to use feral whispers and start kind of chittering, but we'll see.
And Lamar, you go to the trunk of the car and pull out a nice, good 10-pound sledge, because everyone should have one in the trunk of their car, especially Lamar likes to have one.
And Lamar will march back in, but he stops to look at Jenny. How's it going? Are they responding to you, or does this get any better?
Not yet. They're being coy. So
they've edged a little closer. At least you've definitely noticed that it's a fox.
But speaking of which, it looks like we might have a winner. So
all right. Well, give it about 5 minutes, and then let me know how this goes. About 5 minutes, we'll see if they want to come back, and he'll head back down the hole.
Have fun.
Always do.
Lamar heads back in there with a big sledgehammer in his head. Now before you go and smack that altar, Jenny, the fox is definitely getting bolder and bolder, because as you're throwing the meatball shorter and shorter, it's getting closer and closer because it wants to snag that meatball.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally gets close enough you could speak to it if you wanted.
Okay, so that is a rouse check, I believe.
Yep.
And manipulation and animalism. Okay. Rouse.
Well, you don't actually have to roll that for unless you're trying to get it to perform a service. So you can talk to it. No pool tested. For simple communication, there's no dice pool test. You just roll your rouse check.
Okay, I failed the rouse check, so.
And when you failed the rouse check, Beast speaks in your head. I bet you it's his. Why don't we just kill it? Teach him to leave spies. Just when it gets close, just tear into it and eat it. Drink it down. Sure, it won't make me feel better. I'll still be hungry, but we'll leave the body as a message.
Why drink the messenger when we can drink the messengee, or person sending the messages?
You've gone soft.
I was always soft. You're just too hard.
And the fox has gotten closer and closer, and it looks at you, and it's just kind of turn its head a bit, and it eats a little, and then it kind of looks at you a bit, and it gets a little closer.
Genevieve sets whatever's left of the package of ground beef down in front of it, and she's just like, hello.
You talk.
So do you.
Fair point.
I'm glad it's one of your kind who came out. So foxes are always so fun.
Yeah. You brought food.
Yeah.
Getting kind of bored out here.
Why are you stuck out here?
Maybe. Kind of.
Genevieve starts picking up the
okay,
container.
I am. I'm watching.
Yeah, oh, okay. What are you watching for?
People. You.
Okay. Who's got you watching then?
And you get up. Because, with animals, it's not always pure language. It's a mixture of language sense. It just conveys. You get an image of a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man.
I know him. Genevieve puts the package back on the ground in front of the fox.
I shouldn't be talking to you, though. You didn't want me to talk to anybody, but I was hungry.
Well, see, look. I'm helping you out. I brought you this food, so.
Okay. And it eats a little bit more.
Besides, does he not visit you?
No.
I mean.
Well, you're nicer than the other lady.
Other lady?
And you kind of get a mental image of somebody. Have you met Mel Davis yet? I don't think Jenny has.
I have not.
So you get an image of I'm going to pull up might as well show you the image so you can see the image of who it is.
Mm-hmm.
African-American woman, kind of young. Yeah, he definitely associates it with kindred, though.
Is she a friend of the blonde-haired man?
Yeah, they're friends, but she's not nice. She doesn't bring me food. You do.
Well, that's because I am, you know what? It's always good to feed you guys. So it's important.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go back tonight, though, so I'll be getting some more food when I get back.
Well, that sounds yummy. You'll get to have your fill tonight. Lucky you.
Yeah. It's kind of boring. Nobody else has been here except you all now.
Well, did the lady who's not as nice, did she come with the blonde-haired man, or
they came and walked around a bit and went inside, and they kind of come out and then left.
Interesting.
They were only there, and the fox kind of looks at the sky, and you get an image of the moon just barely moving in the sky. Yeah, you figured that your guess would be, maybe 20 minutes tops in the whole building.
Okay. Well, trying to think. You've been so kind and generous, so I'm so glad I got to talk to you.
Yeah, it gets boring. We like companions. We like to have, people to talk to.
You have other friends out here, or is it just you?
Me and the flying things. And you get owls, basically.
Yeah. Are the owls his friends too, the blonde-haired man?
I think. He likes those a lot.
It's good to know. Good to know. Well, thank you so much.
And it actually, the fox grabs the package and starts dragging it back in the woods with him.
Genevieve just kind of, I'll probably be seeing you again, as he trots away.
And the fox, with a mouth of hamburger package held in his teeth, it's mumbles something about bring more food as it darts into the woods again. Now we're going to flash back. Roscoe, you had a question for Nicholas?
Yeah, well, Lamar's gone. I kind of explain to the extent that I can the vision that I had to Nicholas and says, is that what you're seeing, or do you see something different?
And Nicholas repeats what he sees. It's the 30 or the roughly 30. Like I said, he pointed out where they all are, and he'll point out where he sees the chains, and they're all like linking towards this altar.
Yeah, they're just for confirmation that I had seen what was really there. So, but you say they're choking them.
It's draining the spirit from them. It's killing them.
Do you think whatever ritual is used, they're using the power of their spirit to power that ritual over all this time? Is that possible?
Since we've been here, and Nicholas points out to the one that faded out, that one's gone. And then he'll start pointing where they're not, or where there's the different levels of faded. Just it's feeding on them. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know, but whatever this is killing them, which means this needs to go.
Agreed. But do you also feel how your beast is muted completely? You don't feel his presence like we do normally?
No, not since I walked through the door, over the threshold, nothing. The shroud, I'm not sure how familiar non-Hekata are with it.
No.
Think of it that there's a membrane, and then depending on spiritual energy, emotion, it's thicker and thinner in certain areas.
Okay.
It is extremely thin here. And okay. I think this is causing it, which means, again, this needs to go.
Are you able to communicate with these spirits in any way to find out what
Yeah,
happened?
they aren't responding to me. It's as if I'm not there. Like Nicholas will he'll go around and like try to talk to them.
One or two, they kind of look at you or through you as if they're more coherent than the others. But most of them are catatonic spirits. Now, you've seen spirits that don't acknowledge people, but normally they repeat actions caught in a loop. These aren't. It's almost as if what made them people is gone.
But this isn't how the dead should be treated.
Hopefully Lamar can break it when he gets back.
And that's Lamar's cue as he steps in the room with a big 10-pound sledge in his hand.
R puts down the sledgehammer for a moment, takes off his coat, and then he'll pick up the sledgehammer. You guys might want to get back a little bit. Don't want you to get hit by any flying debris. We're going to give it a go here.
How far
Mr.
back do
Cade,
people get?
I need to be completely transparent with you. I do not know what is about to happen. All I know is this is a problem.
That's fair. Thank you for the transparency, and I'll give you the same. This doesn't work. I know someone with explosives.
Isabella's gonna back up to like where she's just at the door so she can see, but not
the ladder? For sure.
Yeah, the ladder.
The
yeah,
far
sorry.
wall? Well, the ladder's closer than far wall. You can go literally to the far wall, opposite end of the room.
Nicholas.
She's gonna grab onto the ladder.
Okay.
And I'll back up behind Lamar, but a little, so far as I'm I'm well out of his swing, but not that far back.
Okay. Where's
And
Nicholas?
Nicholas will be probably somewhere between Roscoe and Lamar, like safe enough back, but closer just because he's kind of like the eyes for what's going on. So he's got a better idea if player imagines we're about to find out whether it's going to work regardless. But character Nicholas would be like, he's keeping an eye on it. But before Lamar swings, Izzy, come to me.
And you feel the necklace goes ice cold.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
All right, here we go. And Lamar will start swinging. He'll get up to the altar, and then he will swing and see how much damage he can do on the first couple of hits. Like if this is going to require a lot of extra work, or if it's just going to crumble like with a couple of swings.
At the very first hit, the altar explodes, but not explode is the only way to describe it. Comes apart, shatters with force, but the pieces don't fly anywhere. But at the same time that happens, all of you in here, it's almost as if something's been ripped open in front of you, because you can suddenly see the chains and the people all at once. And then there's an explosion of green that comes off of where the altar was. And as it goes, you see all the chains drop to the ground. All the spirits that were trapped in it fade away. And you hear a scream come from Nicholas's necklace.
Izzy?
And you can hear her crying in the necklace, Nicholas. Everyone can hear her crying in the necklace now. And you know exactly what you've seen. You just tore a hole in the shroud right here.
Well, balls.
You know it'll fix itself in time.
What oh balls? What is that?
Oh, you see this too, Lamar. You see the chains laying on the ground where the altar used to be.
Chains are down. Where are the spirits?
Gone.
Was this what was supposed to happen?
Nicholas will walk over towards the chains.
They're there. And as you're standing there, you can actually start to hear a howling wind off in the distance. And
Okay, what was that?
a bell rings one time.
Oh no.
Okay, so all right, what was that?
Isabella's gonna start climbing up the ladder. She's like, I'm done.
Isabella's the first one up the ladder. And the further you get away from it, you hear less of the howling, less of the noise. And it's the further you get away, you also feel your beast. Well, it's almost babbling. Now, Jenny, you're upstairs. You felt something because suddenly your beast was screaming. And I assume everybody's running out of this place.
Yeah.
Roscoe will try to grab one of the chains.
You take a chain with you.
Yeah, I will.
Feels unnaturally heavy, unnaturally cold, but it comes with you. And as you flee this building, I need a frenzy check from everyone. Poor Roscoe. Used up your good rolls. We're waiting on who's left. Lamar's. Just hit the frenzy button. Let's see what Lamar gets. Poor Roscoe. Roscoe, you are filled with pure terror as you're holding this chain. And you're not going to stop till you're either in the car and leaving or running down the dirt road and leaving. Your beast has taken over. You must flee this area.
Okay.
Everyone else feels that your beast wants you to get out of there.
Nicholas kind of figured this was a possibility and is fucking hightailing it.
And I assume everyone piles in the vehicle.
Lamar will as they leave, like he will actually make sure the doors are closed. All the doors that they came through that they can close are closed, and that way there's no, someone comes back here looking for shit, they're gonna have to reopen those doors. He'll even move the cross back.
You're gonna need help.
Cross back.
It's kind of heavy. Remember, y'all had to tip it over and use the leverage effect of the top of the
Nicholas, come here real quick.
Nicholas will go.
You all get the cross back. And as you hop in the car to flee, Roscoe, you holding a chain that as you're driving away, it's not as substantial as it was a little while ago. It seems to be having trouble remaining in this world. And as Jackie has been talking with Cedric and learning about chess now, and she got some very vital info about what might have been behind Felicity's fire. The rest of the coterie learn tonight actions have consequences. Sometimes it spans multiple worlds. We are going to end season 3, episode 4 of Windy City.
Season
5, episode 4. They tore a hole in the shroud, went back in time. Season 5, episode 4 of Windy City.
We
After
jumping
Dark.
over to Wraith.
Yep. As I think everyone had some good shit this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Roscoe just met the infamous Balthazar as well. Throw that in there. And oops, Lamar, you blew up an altar.
He was the muscle that just did when Nicholas asked. #blame.
Yep, blame Nicholas.
#blame Hakata.
Hakata Ash Party. Okay, so
Isabella was there like,
for the viewer vote,
Hakata shit.
Poor Isabella's like, well, what if this goes bad? And damn.
she was right.
for the viewer vote, Jackie, Roscoe, and Jenny get the viewer vote.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Isabella, the viewers didn't get you last week. Maybe they get you this week because you were the smart one and ran for it. You were the first one up that ladder. Smart. If everyone pop over to Discord right now, vote on who gets the viewer vote this week. You can be anyone. You can be everybody. The votes are what count. I look at the total votes and then we decide on who gets a viewer vote. It's a way to show you not only your appreciation for what the coterie and the players are doing, but it's also a way to give them feedback on, if you enjoy what stories they were part of this particular night. Plus, we cast our shows from the Discord. We got a great community. We love the place. Hopefully everybody wasn't too hungover from New Year's. I probably am not, but, whatever. Please, if you want to catch our back content, right over here, chat, check our back content. It's all over there. We got the YouTube, got all the good back content. You want to check out some friends, other amazing streamers right over here. One of them is right down there. Yeah. Go check her out. Give her a follow. Mischievous Red. Go give her a follow over there. Watch her show. Merchandise. Get your merchandise. Get your Windy City merch. Come on. Everybody wants some merch. Nicholas blew a hole in his mug by having Lamar blow that up. So, oops. I know I'm forgetting all kinds of shit. Oh, if you, everyone, bits and donations, those go to the players. If you want to give to the studio, you can give us a subscribe here on Twitch. But Twitch is a pimp. They take half the money. So if you want to avoid giving half the money, we've got a coffee. You can pop over to the McStabber Studios coffee and, help the studio out too. Cause we're all in this together doing this stuff. Everybody here once in a while deserves something from them. Also, if you like this show, tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is great. Tell people you like the show. We try to put on a good show and have a fun game. So, and now I think it's time to turn it over to my wife for our rather simple schedule this week.
Yeah, this week, well, first, thank you all for joining us for Season 5, Episode 4 of Windy City After Dark. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern will be the season finale of Curse of Strahd, Tormented Souls, our D&D 5e campaign run by Tamshu. They took a little break over the week between Christmas and New Year's, and now they're back for the season finale episode tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So join us then to check out this amazing group of players as they seem to want to run their characters through the gauntlet of killing them all. And then...
They are getting the shit kicked out of them, but they haven't died yet. But
they haven't died yet,
down.
but that's the caveat yet. Then on Saturday, the 8th, join us for the conclusion of the 2-part series of Octon Cthulhu, run by Shanky here.
World War Cthulhu.
Yep, World War Cthulhu. That is going to be a great game. It is basically what had happened is Modifus had an agency send us a review copy of the game, and Shanky decided he would stream it to do the test and review of it. So after the conclusion of the game tomorrow, Shanky's going to give his honest, not tomorrow, Saturday, can't talk. It's been a long week. He's going to give his honest review of the game and the system and how it played over 2 sessions at the conclusion on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So join us then. And then, of course, we will be back here on Sunday, the 9th, with Season 5, Episode 5, already mid-season.
Oh, my God. I know. And even if you don't want to know about the review, Octa and Cthulhu, we're punching Nazis and cultists in the face. Come on. That is a great combination of things to beat the shit out of. Nazi cultists, cultist Nazis, cultists and Nazis. They're all combined. We're just going to beat them all up. And everyone, as always, we always end the show with the same thing. Mental health, everybody, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Check in on everybody around. It's a new year. Make your New Year's resolution to make sure that you do self-care and take care of yourself, because it's okay to not be okay. But you know what it's not okay to do? Not try to get help if you need it, because mental health is health. And I wouldn't want you walking around with a broken leg any more than I want you walking around with, a massive depression. Because guess what? We all go through it. We all have it. So please, everybody, take mental health seriously. And if you do have mental health issues, and, don't be afraid to reach out to those around you. And if you don't feel you have anyone you can reach out to, please, right now in chat, there's a list of names and numbers you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And somebody will listen to you, and they will be there, try to help you out, because everyone needs someone's help once in a while. Nobody can do this by themselves. No person is an island, just so you know. And I'm going to turn it over to my lovely wife before I ramble more, because I'm in rambling mode tonight, apparently.
All right, it's time for my Mama McStabber nicest mean nurse speech. Please, 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 please. Go get your COVID vaccines if you haven't gotten them. Go get your boosters if you've yet to get them. Please get the booster. Please, please, please get the booster. If you are over 18 years of age in the U.S. And also get your flu shots. Hospitals and ERs are overwhelmed. Over the holidays, people did not distance, and so many people are now getting positive COVID results. Folks, if you don't do what the hell you're supposed to minimize the impacts of this disease, it's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to continue to mutate. It's going to continue to hospitalize people, give long-term consequences from the disease, and kill people. Please stop.
And they just announced where we live, the kids coming back from spring break or from holiday break, Christmas break. They're going right back to online learning because we've had such a outbreak in our county again.
Yes.
That they can't go back to school right now because it's running rampant again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the hospital that I work at, we just got talked to where they're starting to ramp up basically the whole overcrowding, opening up new units for COVID patients because the shit's just happening again.
Oh, yeah.
Like, please take it seriously, please.
Please. I know people are tired of it. I know people don't want to keep doing masks and doing social distancing and stuff, but you know what? You need to until enough people follow common fucking sense. This isn't going to stop. Please. It's said with love. It might be mean, but it's said with love.
Lots of mean nurses around here are nice mean nurses and mean nice nurses.
Mm-hmm.
So
we do it because we fucking care.
Yep. That's why people get into nursing. So from the cast of this amazing show and from the studio as a whole, welcome to 2022. Vampires still ain't fucking around. Tonight was the thing of fuck around and find out.
Happy New Year from us, the McStabbers, to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us over the past year with our streams, and we hope you will continue to tune in for the stories.
Yep. Here's to another year. Let's do this. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.